Hi, it's Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com. It's about 10:30 on Sunday night, and I just wanted to do a little bit of a wrap-up on the first weekend of college baseball play for the NCAA Division I teams in the state. Of course, the biggest series was Clemson's trip out to Arlington, Texas for the Shriners Children's College Showdown. Tigers did really well the first 2 days. They got wins over ranked teams in Oklahoma State and then over Arizona. On Sunday, the Tigers got things turned around on them a little bit. They got run ruled by Ole Miss 15-5. But all in all, it was still a very good weekend for the Tigers. You're not going to win every game this season. Nobody's going to win every game. And so they got a chance to see how their team is going to bounce back when they get back to Clemson. I believe they play PC midweek, and so we'll see how they respond to that. But again, overall a good week. Coastal Carolina won 3 games in the Baseball at the Beach tournament. They're going to play a 4th game on Monday against Kansas State. The Chanticleers got 2 run rule wins. Of course, the last few years, college baseball Division I. They have a 10-run lead after the 7th inning. The game can end there. Some people do not agree to it, but the Chanticleers did. They got 2 10-run rule wins. Had great pitching. They hit .322 as a team, and their staff ERA was under 2. Very, very good weekend for Coach Kevin Schnall in his first season as head coach after being an assistant to Gary Gilmore for so many years. South Carolina also started out 3-0. They beat Sacred Heart, got some really good pitching. The Gamecocks pitchers struck out 45 in 25 innings. Each of the 3 starting pitchers struck out 9 in 5 innings. Sacred Heart looked like a typical team from the Northeast. They struggled some on defense, a few control issues, and I'm sure that Coach Paul Maneri would have wished his team would have hit the ball a little bit better. They were hit somewhere in the 250 mark for the weekend. But when you get pitching like that, they played pretty good defense. They ran the ball, ran a lot on the base paths, and so at least it's an encouraging start. They didn't lose a game they shouldn't have lost. Down in Charleston, the Cougars won 2 out of 3 against Virginia Commonwealth. They won the first 2, won them by run rule. Then they lost to the Rams on the final day on Saturday. Wofford had some interesting results this weekend. They won the first game of a doubleheader on Friday over Ohio. They were way down in the second game, then came back and won it in walk-off fashion in the second game of the doubleheader on Friday. On Sunday, they had an Ohio back and forth game with Ohio, and the big hitter for the day was Ryan Wynn. He hit for the cycle. For those of you who are novices to baseball, that's a single, a double, a triple, and a home run. Did it all in one game. He also added a second homer, and he wound up driving in 7 runs, including the last 5 for the Terriers. One interesting thing about that is Wynn played in 19 games last season, and he had 6 RBI. So he's already surpassed his season total one weekend into the season. Winthrop, under new coach Mike McGuire, went 3-0 against Merrimack. Good solid wins for the Eagles, and something to build on from there. USC Upstate had some weather issues as they tried to play Boston College. Of course, the Eagles were coached by former Wofford coach Todd Interdonato. Upstate won the first game, and then in the second game, it was really kind of a back-and-forth affair on Sunday, and Boston College scored the final 3 runs of the game to win 11-9. I'm sure it's because of travel issues. They were originally supposed to play a doubleheader starting Sunday morning and did not get to start till Sunday afternoon, so I suspect that the Eagles had to get on their plane back to Boston, and they decided to only play 2 games instead of 3. Presbyterian won 2 of 3 over Georgetown over the weekend. They won their first 2 and then dropped the game on Saturday. Charleston Southern also won its first 2 games. They beat UIC in one game, beat Miami, Ohio in another, and then they lost to UIC on Sunday night. A rare Sunday night baseball game because field issues and things like that. The Citadel won its first game, then dropped its next 2. So they're 1-2. They're the only team that's below 500, only state team that's below 500 in NCAA Division I after one weekend. Among other things going on, North Greenville won 2 out of 3 against Shorter, and on the Friday night win, Landon Powell got his 400th career win. Lander had a 3-game series sweep of Mars Hill, including they scored 8 runs in the 8th inning on Saturday for the comeback. Coker beat Ohio Dominican 4 games to improve to 8-4. They've won 5 straight. Elsewhere among Division II teams, another interesting thing is Erskine won its first 2 games against Emmanuel, and they were supposed to play Game 3 in Due West on Saturday. They wound up moving it to Franklin Springs because of weather issues, and the Lions like what they got at home. They beat Erskine 14 to, I believe it's 14 to 9, but they beat them pretty handily and took advantage of 6 Erskine errors. In the last state team to begin its season was Benedict. They played 2 games against Miles on Saturday. They lost both games. One of them, they had the lead going into the top of the 7th. They could not hold it and wound up losing in 9. And the second game, they also lost. They were supposed to play a 3rd game on Sunday. Originally, they're going to try to play it at 9 o'clock a.m. They did not do it, wound up canceling the game. Among other schools, among NAI and NCAA, National Christian College Athletic Association teams, Columbia International went 1-2 in a conference series against Pikeville. Voorhees won 1 game out of 3 against Stillman. Had some good pitching there and some good timely hitting in a couple of games. They had a 13-run 5th inning in the opener of their series and gave up 14 runs in the bottom of the 6th. And wound up losing that game by 1 run, ultimately on a throwing error for a walk-off win for Stillman. Spartanburg Methodist played a couple of games against Johnson University, coached by former Tennessee coach Dave Serrano. The Pioneers won out of 3 there. Morris played 4 games against Fisher College out of Massachusetts. They played up at the Big League camp near Marion, North Carolina. And unfortunately, the Hornets got beat all 4 games and are now 0-11 on the season. Among junior colleges, Florence Darlington Tech won all 4 of its games in the Stinger Invitational. Of course, that's the tournament they host down in Florence. Did very well. They're now 8-5. They've got a 4-game winning streak. They've played in a couple of tough tournaments down in Florida, some national caliber competition, but I'm sure it'll pay off for them down the road. USC Lancaster got a couple of wins at Rockingham Community College on Friday. They're supposed to play another game, another doubleheader on Sunday. They did not get to do it. You'll be able to read all the scores, box scores, and things like that at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. I picked Ryan Wynn of Wofford as Player of the Day. That wasn't a hard choice for Sunday. The team of the week I picked was Coastal Carolina after they had such a good start. And I've already posted the schedule for next week's games, February 17th through the 23rd. Among the interesting things is Coastal Carolina will be playing in a tournament down in Jacksonville, and Clemson will be hosting the Clemson Invitational with Clemson playing against VCU and North Carolina A&T. Again, all the schedules there. Follow me on PalmettoStateBaseball.com. My X account is Palmetto Base, and email me at RudyJones@PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Again, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this every week, but I like to do it when I can, just a little wrap-up of what's going on. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, and I hope you will visit my site regularly to try to get information about the state's college baseball teams. Good night, and God bless.